for people to say that I should run for president.
And here you had two men, once again, talking about the need to say...
Okay. X, where am I? Tom Shetty. Where am I? Profile, there I am. Oh, there I am. I look grubby. I don't know why that is. It's not true. All right. Who gives a shit? All right. Hold on. Okay. Here we go. Anson, come here. Stand right next to me, please. Okay. You look good. Thank you, Dad. Appreciate that. What a hell of a guy you are, Dad. Okay. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. All right, it is good to see everybody again tonight. I bring you as Exhibit A of the fact that I am a heterosexual man. My son, this is my second son. This is Anson Shattuck. Anson, say hello.
Hello.
Look at the camera. And do you know why I brought you here, Anson?
I don't know.
All right. Well, Anson is one of my 3 children who is a thespian. That means an actor, by the way.
Yes.
Oh, you know that?
Yeah.
Okay. So the reason I brought him here is today a fortuitous thing happened to me, and I want you all to witness the moment here when God finally, me having suffered 10 times the amount of Job, God having finally given me the riches and fame that I deserve. This will be the moment finally when karma kicks in and I am rewarded for being a great citizen and an overall brilliant human being and very talented, loving, perfect father. And it happened like this. I was leaving the grocery store today. I bought tortellini for the kids. $5 a package, 2 packages. It's $10. A lot of money. Yeah. And I'm going to make them delicious dinner tonight of tortellini. And as I'm leaving the parking lot, I think a lot of what I see is a $1 bill. It's windy today. You know, you guys know it's windy. So a $1 bill is blowing down across the parking lot in front of me. And I'm like, okay, there's nobody in hot pursuits. I think they're doing a lot of selling of flowers outside. So people were probably taking money out outside. And anyway, this baby was blowing. So it's blowing. And now I'm caught in a trap here because I don't want to get ensnared in an intractable situation. First, I don't know if somebody's watching me. I've already chased it for 10 yards. And I'm like, I've got groceries. This could go wrong. You know, I always assume there's a sniper trying to kill me. So metaphorically. So I'm following this more, but it keeps blowing further. So now I'm like, okay, am I being recorded? Is this okay? Fat guy chases $1 bill. Like, who knows if there would be punks had done this, whatever. But it's like making its way to the end of the parking lot. Still nobody's picking it up. And like, okay, I got to commit. I'm going to commit, and I'm getting this freaking $1 bill. It stops going for a second. I have my bags. I get down on a knee in the parking lot, which in my particular weight is the hardest thing in life that I can imagine. And yes, I grabbed that $1 bill. That $1 bill, and the Bible has things like this. Where come on over here, closer to me, where somebody will be tested, Anson, and then rewarded, like Job was. Old Testament. And so with that $1 bill, I said, you know what this is? This is God wanting to finally give me my due for living a good and wholesome life. And so with that $1 bill, I went to the packy for Anson's mother, and I made purchase of this right here. It's called a 2-for-1. This is a scratch ticket from the Massachusetts State Lottery. Anson Shattuck, please do the honors. You can use this Dunkin' Donuts card to scrape this off. And look out for this groove in the table here. So I will continue the show, and when Anson finds my winnings, which I assume would be $20,000 to $50,000, he'll let us know.
You can only win up to 10.
I can win 10, at least that. I can win many thousands of dollars. $10,000? Yeah. And then we're going to let that ride. So here we go. As far as what I want to talk to you about while this is happening, and by the way, if you have any suggestions on what I should do, like buy a Cadillac would be probably what I'm thinking of, then let me know as well, and I will take you up on that. Or I could use some guidance. I've never bought a new car, I don't think. Maybe me and Alice. No, we didn't. Anyway, I want to give mercy to a friend of mine, who I used to like a lot, who we talk about. Jonah Goldberg was today, this morning. He's got a contract to CNN, so he has to sit there and listen to these people. And Jonah's a big intellectual, and I could see the life go out of his eyes when he was forced to listen to this absolute race hustling chud next to him try to explain anything. And let me get to it. Okay, do we have a winning number yet? Okay, you still working on it? You want to look at it? It's going to read 10,000. So here's Jonah Goldberg, and you can't see it. Just imagine him being dead inside, having to listen to this absolute chud dolt speak. But this is this is what Jonah wanted to get into. This is what his field of study is, and so this is his punishment for doing it. Talk to me. How many tens of thousands?
I am a little confused.
You're a little confused. It's okay. You know what? People don't know that these state lottery cards, actually have a code on them. Oh, I think we might have won something. The code on them in here that tells you what you've won. It's the letters spell things. So I'm still not seeing the code, of course. You're not supposed to scratch this part. It says do not scratch. Oh. They used to have codes. Okay. Prize. $2, $1. Okay, win $1. No, okay, so maybe the code is up here. I think we've won something. We have won. Finally, Anson. Oh, here we go. Holy shit. Anson?
What?
We've won $10. It says 10.
Wow.
Here we go.
Wow.
Well done. Well done. Obviously, the plan from God is to make that 10 into 1,000, then make that 1,000 into 1,000,000. Yep. Well done. Thank you very much. I appreciate it. You may go back to your business. Bye-bye. Okay, here's Jonah. This is just too freaking perfect. Too perfect.
Have hijacked the Republican Party, and they, no doubt, the MAGA extremists have hijacked the Republican Party, and they make up the majority. We see that in Washington. We see that downstream. But I think we have to understand who votes in primaries. Some of the most extreme members, particularly on the Republican side, tend to participate more in Republican primaries. That's been true since Donald Trump came on to the scene in 2016. I will also note that more and more people are becoming independent thinkers and independent voters. So that means you have less traditional Republicans voting in Republican primaries. Instead, they're saving their vote for the general elections, where they do not have to be politically associated with the MAGA extremists who now make up the majority of the Republican Party.
It's like, shut up, you moron. Can you imagine? Like, it also tells you that
No doubt,
it tells you just the talent suck that they've had on these shows, that they can't. And like, Jonah's a real thinker. He used to be surrounded by other real thinkers. But now he's got to just sit there and like have to deal with this moron beside him, who's just a broken record, has nothing else to do but talk about white supremacy, white supremacy, ultra. There's nothing. I'm telling you something. If you banned the word racist or white supremacy from all of news, TV, then there would be very few people available to be talking heads, because there's nothing to it. There's just it's their magic word that means I don't have to explain anything else. It's all this stuff. See, and it's like it's pathetic. He scratched off the thing that says "Don't scratch this area." I don't love that. Can you still scratch the area? Maybe. If I don't get my $10, he's in trouble. Tell you one thing. But so that's a little bit of what Jonah is having to go through now, and I'm glad. Like, I don't get any invites to be on any TV shows, and I'm glad. I would hate that now. I used to years ago go on Sue O'Connell's show, and that's down in Needham, Mass, which from here is like 60 miles. From where I used to live was like 40 miles. Still sucked. And it's just not worth it. You get 3 minutes there. She doesn't make any sense. Nobody learns anything. Keep people coming with their preconceived notions. It's all just a total waste of time. And for what? It's just, maybe if it was closer. Maybe actually, if they were flying me in somewhere, like this is the thing. This is the key one. Is you want to be flown into the Bill Maher show, because I think they give you a few days there in L.A. That's the move, because you get the whole hotel is all set up for free and stuff. But yeah, if they'd fly me in somewhere and put me up for a couple of nights, if I could make a party out of it, I'd go. Other than that, there's no. It's just simply not the way. But it's probably good money. He's on retainer there, so I assume he's making big buck. But there's just it's everything's a grift, everything's a lie. Newsbusters has this story today. Soros-backed groups bully financial companies to support disgraced SPLC. So yeah, they're pushing this people to try to make buoyant the SPLC, which is the Southern Poverty Law Center, which is just a crooked organization. And this is what we're doing now. Whether there's a threat to George Soros' regime, you can bet that a number of the grantees will swarm like bees to protect him. Enter the disgraced extremist Southern Poverty Law Center, and all these groups now they're getting they're feeling the heat from the Soros people, and it's all part of the contrived thing, which is why these panels just are terrible, and they're awful, and like I said, contrived, and nobody learns anything, and nobody gets no progress is made. It's not like anybody's on to anything to learn anything anymore. And that's just whatever. I have no time for it. And also, everybody on TV is stupid. They don't have...
I have to say, to your point, I'm really worried about the November elections, even though it looks like the Democrats are going to pull it off.
Democrats are by 10 points.
I know that, but I don't trust them to not cheat. I don't. The Republicans.
Oh, the Republicans.
Yeah, I don't trust the Republicans.
In terms of gerrymandering?
Well, they're trying it with gerrymandering, and then they'll fool around with everything else. I don't trust that.
But
Elon Musk.
thank God that is still in the hands of the states, and you'll know where it's happening.
Yeah.
And
Well, I
people
hope
can
so.
Yes, because we can't take it out of the hands of the states. It's in the hand. Your voting is in the hands of the states. So I believe in the states. I believe the states.
You believe in the states,
who are not afraid, are going to let elections happen the way they're supposed to.
What about the ones that don't, like Florida?
And I think the people will gather themselves up, as they have been doing, and going out and voting for the right direction for their issue, for their city, for their town.
What a federalist! Whoopi is. Who knew? My goodness! But it's so dumb. It's just so dumb, and it's not getting any less dumb. I don't know. I enjoy what I do. I belong to a little thing called the Main Wire, and we're having a good time out there. But a lot of people are not having a good time. They just are not. Howie played this woman yesterday. I'll play her because she's attractive. And she essentially made a death threat about President Trump. And now she's upset because people are coming back at her.
I wasn't going to make a video about this because I genuinely want to move on with my life, but a few weeks ago, I made a stupid video about the president. The far right found it, posted it on Twitter, and then got me fired from my job. I am already reaping the consequences of what I said. I lost my job in an economy that's already incredibly difficult, and I want to move forward. Do I regret what I said? Absolutely. I shouldn't have posted it on the internet, okay? It was a joke. I do not condone violence, and I would never hurt anybody, okay? That being said, I just got a letter in the mail. They have an address on it, so I'm going to have to report it to the authorities. It's a picture of my house, and it says, Allison, how does it feel? You've been doxxed and karma, cause and effect is coming, with a smiley face. All I have to say is that we're living in an incredibly scary time. Please be careful what you post on the internet.
Wow.
People aren't insane. Again, I am already suffering the consequences of what I said and did, okay? I want to move forward. I want to move on.
That's the thing with you lefties. You know, the moment you're finished throwing the Molotov cocktail, you immediately take the soccer flop. Once you've thrown the Molotov cocktail, you're like, oh, we're not doing violence anymore. That part's over. We're not doing violence anymore. I am done. I have no sympathy anymore. No sympathy anymore. My ships come in. I got my $10. I'm parlaying that baby.
But these people are so vindictive, and they want to preach morality while sending me letters like this, and while leaving hateful messages on my social media, calling me every name in the book because of a stupid thing that I said about the President of the United States, who, number one, does not care about you, and number two, probably didn't even see what I said. He doesn't care. Somehow I am being held more accountable for something stupid I said on the internet than people who send stuff like this and the President of the United States, who has been spewing violent rhetoric his entire presidential career. That's really it. I don't even know what to do. I want this to go away, but this is absolutely insane. And please be careful what you post on the internet, especially if you post political content. People are crazy. Go on the internet right now and make sure that your address and your phone number is not on there. Because I've seen people get doxxed for reposting an Instagram story about the president. That is all. Be careful, be safe, and again, I am moving forward with my life. Please leave me alone.
Well, too bad, sweetie. I'm sorry things didn't work out for you. It's absolutely too bad. You know, I've talked about it that there are people around us who, like literally people in my neighborhood, probably in your neighborhood too, who decided to like do crazy doxing things, and I assume it's law enforcement came after them. They were trying to dox ICE because the ICE guy lived around here, and then law enforcement went after them. And I have not seen them or heard. Like I don't know. Maybe they moved. Like maybe they're all gone. Like, what are you unstable idiots thinking? Why you have believed all those people we just talked about, those media people who are know nothing, empty, small heads, small brains. All of those people convinced you that you live in a world that doesn't exist. You're living in a delusion. Like, look at yourselves. You're running around in your SUV, pretending that you're a lesbian poet and trying to drive after ICE agent. What are you doing? Go back to your inside. Go back inside, or else you might get yourself shot. Not everybody's going to cater to your delusion like the left does to each other's delusions, your trans fantasies, and all the other stuff. Not everybody's going to always cater to your delusion. The cop wants to live because he's a serious person who wants to get back to see his wife. So he's not playing around. And the people who tell you, no, you go ahead and cosplay and harass the cops, well, that's fine. But they ain't your friend, man. I don't know how many more people it's going to take for you to realize. Liz, is it Lise? Liz? Oh. Is it Lise? Liz? I know it's not Liz. It's Liz or Lise. I like both of those versions. And I'm going to do it because you yelled at me. Need a lucky coin for scratch. I couldn't find any coins in the house. It's funny you say that because I bought them scratch tickets like a month ago. And I'm not a scratch tickets guy. That's an addiction I don't have. But for fun, sometimes I'll buy them a few scratch tickets if I have to have cash. I bought them scratch tickets a month ago, and neither my son nor daughter could tell me which was a dime and which was a nickel. They just don't know. And actually, so we have no change in the house. It's like not anything that's anywhere. Nothing gives change, you know. So it's crazy how that is. Yeah, it's like these people. How long are you going to do this? I mean, by the way, you think that once you shake your delusion off, and the delusion's over, and then what am I? We all supposed to just forgive you for being total dinks for all that time? It's like, holy frig. It's just ridiculous. Because you couldn't handle it. Because you had a president that you convinced yourself that he was the Antichrist and that Russia, installed him. And it doesn't matter who you are on the left. Colbert still believes that, like, these people, their minds are freaking shot. I don't know how you, I don't know. I've never seen so many people go insane at the same time, just synchronized like that. So how do you get uninsane? I don't know how you're going to do that. But you've lost your minds. And the people who haven't lost their minds, like Jess Machado, is out here like breaking news. She has a great piece. This is from yesterday. Massive drop in police calls after Massachusetts migrant shelter shut down. Public records request shows the astounding strain on municipal resources at the height of the Massachusetts migrant shelter crisis at one emergency hotel shelter in Taunton. Over 200 calls. Did I mention this last night? If so, I'm going to mention it again today anyway, because we just talked to her. Over 200 calls for police or fire response during a 6-month period in 2024. Only 7 calls for the same locations in 2026. It's like, okay, yeah. The truth that we always knew, that because you're all being insane and said no, is just being borne out. The same with all this money to house illegals for 2 years, 2 years full of rents. The program that when it started like 5 years ago was $12 million, which is now up to $100 million. Can you imagine that? And you get a free furniture too. Can you imagine that? You work hard, you're unable to pay some bills. It's like me and Alice are the same way. Like there's some stuff we have to move money around and do stuff. I'm sure you do too. There's just things that you can't do that you want to do anymore. I would like to have a fleet of landscapers around this place, like all of my neighbors do. We can't afford it. It's just it's too much money. I mean, so somebody else is coming in here and you're giving them a free life and a free living and free furniture. The furniture, I'd kill for new furniture. When Alice and I moved in here, it was 8 years ago. Oh, by the way, I have a dentist appointment tomorrow, Steve. You'll be happy. They're going to look at my dead baby teeth. So Alice and I moved in here 8 years ago. There was we got new furniture. Some of the stuff she got on Wayfair because, it's just cheap and we have lots of kids and we knew that we'd get beat up. One of the couches has like 8 places for people to sit. It's a sectional. 3 of the 8 are now sittable because the other things are like all the fabric's destroyed under it. The springs are there. There's like nothing. You'll just fall onto the ground, with your pillow. If you're there, like I would like I want that free stuff too. But why is it that some people don't have to feel any of the pain? Any of the pain. 15 years ago, when Alice and I, 16 years ago, when Alice and I moved into our first house in Melrose, we really stretched to get in. We really stretched to get in. Nothing could go wrong, And then you had to get some daycare, and daycare, takes away a whole salary. Like it's how expensive it is. But nothing could go wrong at all. We couldn't have anything go wrong. We also had to pay. Alice had student loan debts that we had to pay and other things. And so we got in there And I remember going to the grocery store and having my ATM card rejected. Occasionally it would be rejected. And I'm like, and I understand, like I could have, instead of in my 20s, instead of just giving all my money to the Red Hat and the Beacon Hill pub, I could have put it away somewhere. But I didn't. But still, like, why is it that, we actually saw this in person too. Like, why is it that I, who was then in my late 30s, early 40s, why did I have to know the sting of having your ATM card rejected at the grocery store? And I've always worked for a living, always, never not worked for a living since I was a teenager. And they never, the welfare, like Queen class and the illegals, they never have to feel that. They never have to feel that embarrassment that you're freaking a middle-aged guy and your freaking ATM card doesn't work, to get steakums. Like, I think like that's not fair. It's not fair. And this choosing favorites and saying, "Oh no," like if Alice and I get in trouble here, they'll take this house. How come we have to have that fear, but there's some people who have no fear? We actually, when we first had our baby, we lived in Medford, Alice and I, when we first had Sally. And we went to, there's a particularly good Stop and Shop in Medford or Malden, near the Cappies. It was a great Stop and Shop. And we did one of these things where we were shopping and we had our daughter in the cart. And somebody nailed Alice with the cart from behind, and it was this little girl and her mom, and with a cart full of stuff, all the good stuff. It was right there. And I remember they pulled up and they like cut in front of us, and she went right into line, and the woman said, "Okay, and how you been paying?" And the mother said very loudly, "EBT, EBT." She said it with no shame. EBT. And it was all ice cream stuff and this and that. And she's like, while they're ringing up, she's like, "Oh, you got the good stuff and the other." And they ring the thing up, and she's got her hundreds of dollars worth of EBT of food. And the daughter's like 6, takes out a wad of cash. And the mother says, "Where'd you get all the cash? How'd you get the other cash? You put that cash away. I don't know where you even got that cash." I'm like, how the fuck is this? Like, how is this like okay that this is the world here? These people suck. They're not being productive. And now these people who are sucking, they're not productive, but are considered more important than you and I? Like, they get priority for coming here and sucking? F that, dude. And that's why when you hear about the Maura Healey stuff, the giving away the $100 million worth of, F you. It got me to thinking today, too. We talked about this a couple years ago when our son was first born. Like, he was like a month old. And Alice and I got pulled over because the car had become unregistered or something. You know, the thing where if you don't pay it, then you're automatically unregistered. I don't know what. Something had lapsed. And so cop pulls us over, comes bearing down on us, pulls up. We were heading towards breakfast, me, her, and a newborn. And the cop pulls us over. Young cop, and says, "Yeah, we're gonna have to tow the car. The car is registration is expired, whatever. We're gonna have to tow the car, and so you should call somebody to pick you up." And we said, "We don't have anybody to pick us up." He said, "You don't have anybody you can call right now?" And we said, "No." Plus, we were holding a newborn and like in like a car seat. There's nothing, and so it was only about a little more than a mile from my house. But like, why is it that we're people who are trying to be law-abiding people, productive people, and like we're heading to breakfast one day where suddenly we get pulled up, our car gets impounded for some paperwork bullshit, and we had to pay $400 to get out of a tow yard. So what? Like, why? Why that punishment for us? There's some people who will never get that punishment. A fucking illegal alien won't have to deal with that. He gets to drive on through. Like, freaking, I'm sorry. It's freaking gross. It's gross. In way too many ways, this freaking whole state is just absolutely gross. And I don't blame people for having enough of it. I don't. And all these scams, all these freaking Somali scams. You serious with the billions and billions of dollars? And you have people like Sue O'Connell, a clueless moron, saying, hold on, illegal immigration is part of the problem that the Commonwealth runs out of money. But there's a bigger picture. No. How about we do the things that we suspect the problem is? Illegal immigrants and fraud and Medicaid. How about that? Can we go after those? No, you can't go after those. Whoa, I wonder why you're so effing passionate about those. But it pisses me off. I get angry. I think I've said before that, one time a piece of ice fell off of the Ted Williams Tunnel and dented my Subaru, my car. And I tried to write a whole bunch of letters saying that they should pay for it because they should pay for it because it's their ice inside the tunnel that fell. It could have gone through a windshield. But they said, we've had a private hearing up here. And we decided, no, we're not paying for it. Bye. And I said to myself, that was like $1,000. I thought to myself then, I was like, I will take $1,000 worth of things from the Commonwealth. And I'm not going to be detailed here, but I am well onto my way of recouping my $1,000. And the same thing goes for the West Newbury town of as well. That $400 that we got that cost us in towing, I'm already making progress. I'm not playing this freaking game here. Where, no, sorry, you guys are like law-abiding citizens who work hard, so you have to get effed because we can't F the people who shouldn't be here. F you. Oh, man, I got myself into a bad mood, especially at night when my 2-for-1 got me $10. Of course, my son scratched off the do not scratch here part, which I'm sure is going to be, and guess who's effed at the packy when I try to bring that back to them. Everything's fine. Where's the chat? Where's the chat at? Oh, there's the chat. Okay. Like Liz, but with an S. Liz. My mother didn't like Missy. So. Oh, because Melissa. Oh, are you just. Okay, yeah, but you could be Mel too, right? And you wouldn't want any part of that. That's a pretty name. Liz is a pretty name. Tim knows how to say it correctly. Liz. Cheswick says, I live near the Holiday Inn, Route 1 in North Peabody, and the calls never stopped there. Yeah, I can imagine. Jeez, we just talked to Featherston about that. I mean, it was a Healy home for years. Some of this stuff happened under Charlie Baker, but we wrote about it, the Herald. Like some of the places in Route 1 were already like kind of getting trashed. But now it's just exploded. Like these a lot of these hotels to me are just totaled. You can't have people in there again. The best time to buy new furniture is after your kids move. I know, dude, but my wife won't stop having kids, Liz. So I'm effed. I know. Liz says my wife was on food stamps for my mother. Was on food stamps for a short time after my parents divorced, and the old food stamps looked nothing like money, and everyone saw you were broke. Yeah, no, believe me, I that is a huge thing, but you can't make anybody feel bad anymore, which is too bad. Yeah, and I feel bad because your mom found herself in circumstances not of her doing. Cheswick says 2 sets of laws, 2 sets of people. Thank you, Democrats. Yeah, it's freaking... Liz says, did you get $1,000 worth of EBT? No, but I don't count the EBT money because they sent me that card. So that's them making a mistake. The other stuff, I'm recouping $1,000 of damage unit by unit. I'll just say that. All right. Should we do the chat? Mm-hmm. I look at my little Anson in the chat. Nice fellow. Okay, let's go. Ready? Here we go.
Hey, Billy from Manchester.
Hey, Billy.
This Jackson Shattuck family is just... we know they're menaces. I know they're menaces.
That's not true.
We're uncovering it now. People are actually...
Not true. I will have you know that...
admitting that I'm right about this.
Alice Shattuck, as a matter of fact, is she has been even to the consternation of some restaurants, she'll get on all fours and, like, clean under a table for a long time if our kids trash a little area. So yeah, we don't not express any privilege anywhere. The only time I ever did was like you saw with this with the Hampton Inn. That was Alice. Then I was at a Dodge dealership in Woburn, and we were picking up the car. We bought this Dodge Caravan, which is a great car, actually. We so miss it. And the guy who sold it to me, like, they kept me waiting for like 30 minutes, and I lost my shit in the lobby in front of everybody. And he was like, I lost my bleep, and that doesn't usually. I was like, that was it. That was a good one. It was good for Alice to see that somewhere in there is that. And they gave us like a whole bunch of like free service, which is, I'm sure, like somehow it just cost us more, but made me feel like good. Oh, that was one time. But that's it. I've only got a few of those, Billy. I don't want to. I am. And then there was the gutters from Home Depot. I think they had once. Okay, so that one's different. So I think it was Home Depot or Lowe's when we lived in Melrose. We did a thing where they used to sell you gutters inside of the store, and so we said, okay, come on over, we'll do gutters. And the gutter people came over, and they charged you half or something up front. I forgot what it was. But they said, hey, this house doesn't have proper flinglings or klonglies or bliblatches or whatever they were, stashings or whatever. I don't know, some house thing on the outside. So we can't install this stuff. We're not doing, like, I can't get up. We can't install this stuff. And so they left the pile of gutters that was supposed to be installed. They just left it, and they left it in the middle of the yard and just left. And I was like, you're leaving? We're out of here. No. And so so then our kids, and we only had 1.5 kids then, I think. And then our neighbors there were 2 little kids. Our kids then were playing around inside near the pile of the gutters, and I took a picture of that and sent it to the corporate person saying, just so you know, my your guys just abandoned us. We've already been charged some money. We were supposed to have gutters done, and they're now gone. They said they're not coming back, and now I've got kids playing around in my yard that used to be my yard, and now it's just this dangerous place, and I had these adorable little kids like playing around all the wreckage. That was a good email. That was a good email. That's it. Except for the hot water heater. One time the hot water heater guy, this is amazing though. Hot water heater guy comes over and says, we needed a new hot water heater. So he's looking at it, or the new furnace or whatever it was. And he comes over. This is in Melrose. So he comes over and says, oh yeah, I looked at it. You know what? It actually works fine. It's just fine. You can just start using it again. Just put a little diesel in there. It's just fine. And we found out that he didn't, like the guy didn't do anything. He didn't look at it. He just didn't want to do the job, and so he just left. And the company charged us. So that was just me telling them that they're not getting paid for not doing anything. And so that was it. No, I think that's just about it. That's about it. And there's been some strategic griping here and there. Sorry, Billy.
Whole Hampton Inn thing, but they're deviants too. Alice secretly likes the fact that Tom made this little her kissing herself video. They bring up the breast thing all the time. 3 shows in a row now about the breasts.
Yeah, she found that story. The kissing thing, I don't know if she does like it. I can't get a good read.
I'm going to say this. I'm going to make a call. Tom Swalwell has pictures, or he made an AI image or video of Alice and her sister kissing. I guarantee you that happened. 38 seconds. Prove me wrong.
I'll tell you something, Billy, that is absolutely not true. Absolutely not true. After the phone in the forehead. And also I don't want to get into the habit of making scenarios that's just probably can't lead nowhere good. So no, I would never do that. But it's yeah, I would never do that. But yeah, no, all I did was, it was just Alice. And I still don't see the problem with it. I was thinking about that today. I'm like, what's the problem? It's like, there's my wife and there's my wife, and what's wrong? Jesus. That's not a category in porn. Mm-hmm.
Talk about breastfeeding for 10 minutes on your podcast. Be a man.
Here we go.
By the way, they're not breasts, they're tits.
Here we go. Carmen, be a man guy. That is a great, great human being. I can't use that kind of language with Alice. It's not that I'm whipped. It's that there are certain codes of conduct I have to abide by in order for things to be fruitful, and I can't use that. And if you use that word that you said and add IES, I will be excommunicated. But I like that you say it, and if I'm out with you, I will admit that is right. Nice to see you, by the way. We got to grab a beer.
You know, there are times, Tom, when you absolutely need Alice on the show to put the brakes on.
Like what?
And the other times that I'm grateful she's not on the show,
yeah,
so that we get gems like this.
So, for instance, my son Cyril hates going to Anson's plays because after the plays, everybody glazes him.
Just keep digging that friggin' hole, Shattuck. Oh, stop. Don't even say the word glaze anymore. Just be safe, will you?
I think that generationally, I think it doesn't work well for Gen Xers. I think young people don't think like we do, Tim. That is probably a tough one. What did I use with my daughter today? I used something that she was like, don't say that. It wasn't glazed. It was some young people thing. God damn it. It's the last part of the show, and I can't remember the one thing I need to remember. It wasn't Riz. It wasn't glazed. It wasn't cooked. Freaking can't remember. There you go. Sorry. What an a-hole I am. Well, why say things you can't remember? Oh, God, it's disappointing. I'm sorry about that. I'll try to remember. Usually it takes me 24 hours, and then I'll get it back. So I'll see. Hopefully tomorrow it'll be back. Thank you, everybody. Thank you so much. Where is Alice Shattuck, by the way? Oh, who's this? Who is this? Hello? Hello? No man I can be side? Hello? What is the reason for a call that just rings, doesn't do anything? I don't know. Thanks, guys. You're awesome. I'll see you tomorrow.
C'est la vie.